What's up, everyone, and welcome to Week 11 of the CRL4 season. We are wrapping things up very quickly here. We only have 3 more weeks after this, so this is going to be a very meaningful week. A lot of teams are trying to get into the playoffs still. I mean, there's been 0 teams in the Southern Conference that have made playoffs yet. Ashland and Drew obviously clinched last week. And here's Isaac, one of the next teams that might be clinching. He's going to kick things off against Braden Bayshore, divisional rival. All right, so we're getting right into this. Magnum versus Laser. Isaac in lane 2, Braden in lane 4. Isaac's going to get the first win there with Magnum. I mean, Magnum's one of the fastest cars. It's his first-round pick, so should be a pretty good car. I mean, Isaac's been a pretty decent drafter. Locomotive versus Fizz, and Locomotive catches up. Oh, my gosh. That was a crazy comeback there, and we're going to see Dino Force versus Pinstripe, the newly moved Dino Force in Isaac's roster. Just can't keep up with Pinstripe. Pinstripe keeping Braden alive here for this race against his divisional rival. I mean, I think Braden's going to make the playoffs, but still, it would be nice to get this win over a very tough opponent. And Lucy's going to get in as well, tying the score up. This is very reminiscent of a matchup against Alex Newmanacher, where Isaac won the first 2 and then choked here. A.J. Brown for Xenon for this last one, though. And A.J. Brown is going to score the point. Isaac's going to get a win. I believe he will clinch with that, but if not, he'll have this little insurance blanket. I mean, he might actually lose this matchup because his next opponent is Grant. Grant's a very good team leading his division right now with a, I believe, 8-2 record. Yeah, I think 8-2 record. So, pretty good record for Grant. Magnum versus Surge. Let's see who's faster. Let's see if Magnum still got it. And Magnum pulls ahead at the very end. It was pretty close there, but Magnum's going to be able to pull ahead for a first win for Isaac. Locomotive, we're seeing him again. Lost last week to a similar model and just barely finishes ahead of Bubble. And Locomotive is going to score for Isaac. Let's see if he will fall down the same rabbit hole that he did last time. Dino Force versus Emu. Let's see what they can do. And Emu just destroys Dino Force. I mean, Emu's a pretty fast car, so, I mean, it's kind of what you're getting. So, next up is Black Yoshi versus Blueprint. Let's see how they do. And Black Yoshi's going to beat Blueprint, so Grant's going to lose that one, and Isaac's going to clinch playoffs with a 10-2 record, I believe. Good for him. All right, so our next matchup we're going to have for you guys is going to be Drew versus Peyton. Drew has been, Drew has been on a tear recently. I believe he is the most amount of sweeps against opponents out of anyone else. We've been seeing these first 3 cars set up in a row for the past, 5 weeks in a row already. So Ultima versus Cosmic Coupe. Peyton in lane 2, Drew in lane 4, and Cosmic Coupe is going to strike early. It's pretty much a given. I mean, this Drew team is a powerhouse. I mean, most of the time, most of these CRL teams, you can get through their good cars. If you can win at least 1 or 2 of those matchups, you might be able to set up good and target their weaker cars. But on Drew's team, there's no real weak cars, so you're going to need your strongest cars to beat his weakest cars. But I don't that there's not a lot of weak links. Nuke's going to score for Drew. Ace versus Lakitu, and Drew does it again. He's going to sweep. Again, Peyton effectively eliminated from the playoffs at this point. But, yeah, so Drew's going to get 3 points over another team, and they're not going to score any points. So, next up is Colin versus Ashland. Ashland already clinched playoffs, but now she's fighting for her division. Drew just got a win, so Ashland's going to need the win here. And this could be an easy win for Ashland. We don't know. Porto versus Dragonfly. Now, Porto, first overall pick this season, and doesn't disappoint, but Dragonfly almost catches up. So, Colin in lane 2, Ashland in lane 4. Colin is currently 7-2, and is in second in his division. No, he's 7-3, sorry. 7-3, looking to go 8-3 potentially. Gets another point, goes up 2 points against this Ashland team, which is really impressive. If he doesn't win here though, could be rough. Mohawk versus Pop, and he does it. But, so yeah, I mean, Colin's going to hand Ashlyn her second loss of the season. I mean, her 2 losses have only come down to Alex and Colin, two pretty good teams, though, but might be lower seeds in the playoffs, so interesting. So Ashlyn's finally going to lose her lead to Drew in the playoffs, and it's going to come down to week 14 against those two, right now at least, to determine their playoff seeding. But next up, we have Connor versus Ermine, 2 teams that are effectively eliminated. Ermine still has some juice last week from beating Isaac, but I think if he loses one more, he's going to be eliminated. So pretty much these wins are kind of just screwing up his draft position, but whatever. I mean, it's better to win than to lose, and in the moment, he's probably still going to get a good draft pick. So yeah, Ermine is up 2-0 against Connor. So Connor got his first win actually last week against Brennan Chrisman. Connor's going to salvage it with a score from Maelstrom. That's a fun name to say, Maelstrom. Next up is his newest car, Induction versus Bolt. Induction was introduced a few weeks back. Well, score for Connor, but this was his first ever appearance because Connor's either lost 3 games in a row or won 3 games in a row in his past games where he's subbed in this car. So, how interesting. So, Cyborg does not get it done, though. Lugnut is going to score for Ermine, and Connor is going to lose. So, yeah, I don't even know if that win last week was worth it. I mean, I feel like it would have been more impressive to go completely unwinning, but you would be remembered forever, but whatever. Next up is Landon versus Caleb. Caleb is coming off the bye, so his team might be a little sluggish here. Velvet versus Mock, and Mock is kicking out the gates. That is Mock's first win this season after being spun on the wheel. Caleb spun the wheel twice, got rid of Fiat, got a cupcake car, and now has Mock, and he said I'm rolling with Mock. So Bergermobile versus True Blue, 2 very fast cars. It's going to be interesting to see this. And True Blue's going to get it, though. True Blue has been one of the fastest cars in the league. Beat Clockwork. I mean, I don't think we've seen a faster car than that so far. I mean, True Blue's been on a tear. Blue versus Blanco, and Blanco's going to finish it off, effectively eliminating Landon from playoff contention at this point, I think. I mean, Ben Roth pretty much has the division on locks. But I recall last time Ben Roth had his division on locks, he got upset. He was the number 1 seed last CRL2, got upset by a number 6 seed Braden. So that something could happen. So Abby versus Alex here. Abby and Luke are neck and neck for a playoff spot, the 6th seed. Alex is going to score that one, but Abby is currently favored in the position. She has a plus 2 point differential over Luke. Obviously, anything can change because that is not a very big differential because their records is tied, and currently Alex is on a tear right now. I mean, he's just up 2-0 against Abby. This is not looking good, but Abby can still come back. Blitz versus Neon. Let's see what Blitz can do here. And Blitz gets it. Okay. 1 point for Abby. So that's good for her. Next up is going to be Beetle versus Econ. I think Beetle's going to be able to get it done. He's a very fast car. And, that got closer than it had to be. But Beetle is going to tie up the score, and Abby is now tied up with Alex. So good for her. Next up is Anomaly versus Falcon. Can Anomaly get it done? Let's find out. And, Falcon almost tripped there. That could have been bad. He regained his footing and is going to get the win. So Alex is going to get a win over Abby. How unfortunate, but Abby still has a chance for Luke to lose later in the season. Obviously, there are other playoff spots, but we'll have to wait. It's going to come down to the wire, I think. So next up is Brandon Monahan versus Lane Lehman. Tokyo versus Gas Monkey, and Brandon's going to score first point there with Tokyo. Brandon's team has been good, but not good at the same time. It's just they've not been getting wins, but their team should be good. He goes up 2-0 right now against Lane. Lane's team is just horrendous. I mean, you look at this team, and I can't believe that was the one team that Drew lost to. I mean, he's 10-1. You couldn't. I feel like you couldn't guess in like 5 tries that Lane was the team that Drew lost to. If you're just looking at the season from a blank slate, I mean, that is not a team that comes to mind. And I feel like there's another person who'd say, I don't believe you if come halfway through CRL2, you tell them that Lane Lehman is in contention for the first overall pick for the second season in a row. I mean, he was dominant in that first season, carried into the second season, got defeated in the playoffs, and after that, it's been a downward spiral. And just like that, Brendan Monahan already won. I'm monologuing, like looking off. We have Brendan Chrisman versus Ben Roth. Ben Roth in lane 2. Brendan Chrisman in lane 4. Ben Roth goes up 2 points against Brendan. Brendan suffered a crippling loss to Connor and is in prime position for a first overall pick, but he's actually going to be removed next season, so his replacement pick is going to get it. Obviously, it hasn't been revealed yet. It's been confirmed who it is. It will be revealed, I think, during the finale of this season. So it'll probably be like an announcement in between, in that little intercession in between the All-Star game and the actual finals. So Brendan Chrisman has rallied back, tied things up. Let's see this. Braccio versus Grocery. And it's not even going to be close. So a little bit of a scare there for Ben Roth, but he is going to go up and win, and I believe that is all he needs to clinch the division. But yeah, pretty exciting for him. So I think that covers his bid to the playoffs. So next up is going to be Blake versus Parker. This has been a very fated rivalry coming up. Diddy Kong right there. That is Blake's first number 1 overall, just first overall pick this season. Traded for Key Lime, and he almost beat him. Rift almost beat him. His replacement for the replacement of Diddy Kong. That was almost his revenge there. That would have been great. Wario versus Waluigi now, but if you're a little forgetful, you'll remember that before week 1, Parker and Blake conducted a trade that sent Diddy Kong to Parker and Key Lime to Blake. If you watched week 1, you would have saw that Key Lime fell right away, was dropped, and Blake spun the wheel for Rift. Now, Blake is currently 1-9, and Parker is currently 6-5. So, I mean, do with that what you will. Parker has a winning record. Blake does not. So, numbers don't lie. So, next up is going to be Emily versus Luke. Luke's heavily needs a win here. If Emily gets a win, Emily's going to take back control of the division after a loss to Isaac in week 9. She kicks things off with a win over Vampira. Sahara beating Vampira. So Emily is up 1-0 against Luke. Next up is Daisy versus Submersible. If Luke wins this, he will regain his control of the number 6 seed from Abby. So that would be cool for him. Banana versus Luke Jr., sorry. Thought that was Gas Monkey for a second. Gas Monkey scores again. Luke is up 2-1. Will he put things away against Emily? I don't know. I mean, going into this, Emily was favored over Luke because Luke took a loss to Colin, and Luke's going to get the win. Poltergeist proven his worth, carrying his weight there with a win over Emily. So Luke is going to take back control of the number 6 seed. It still isn't in the playoffs yet. Probably going to go down to the wire for that. But last up, we have Kian versus Micah. We have Brian versus Roly Poly. 2 teams that are pretty much eliminated at this point. But Kian's going to score the first one with Brian. And next up is going to be Roadster versus Flamebit. Flamebit's going to score for Micah, tying things up. So there's that. Noir versus Zombie. Let's see what happens here. And Zombie's going to score. So, Mike is going to need one more to get the win. Tesla versus Spider. Let's see what happens. I think Micah was just plagued by Aristocrat being on his team for so long. He should have got rid of him. He never got any wins. It took him too long to get rid of him. But Micah's going to get the win. Let's take a look at the records now. All right, so we have Ben Roth clinching the Wheatstone division, earning himself a spot in the playoffs, guaranteed at least the 1, 2, or 3 seed. Isaac Krupko, not clinching his division yet, but is going to clinch a playoff berth with a 10-2 record. And no one else has clinched playoffs. Drew is 10-1, has a lead over the East Springbrook division. Obviously, if Ashland wins in week 14 and they both win out or lose out from here in week 14, that whoever wins that will get control of the division. So yeah, there's that. Grant still has control of Mount Gretna. Will need to be a few more weeks until he can clinch that or even clinch a playoff berth. It's still no one has clinched yet. Although Connor and Blake will be eliminated from playoffs. Ermine is still in it, actually, competing against Alex and Braden Bayshore for a playoff spot. Braden could still choke this. You never know. Brendan Crispin, Lannon, and Kean are all eliminated, by the way, in case you were wondering. And yeah, so Caleb has the lead over the division. I think he's going to have a doubleheader next week, but that is the ramp of doom, so that he could lose twice there and lose the division to maybe Colin or even Luke, I think, because then he'd go 8-4, and then Luke would be 8-4. I don't know how that would work, but Parker is one win away from clinching his division. Obviously not a very hard division to clinch if you only need 7 wins, because we have teams that have 8 wins, haven't even clinched their divisions yet. People with 6 wins are not even first in their division. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. So, thank you so much for watching, and have a great night. Next week is going to be the Ramp of Doom. Okay, see ya.